April 22nd, Samish Island History Committee, Crickett Knutzen. Ron and I moved out to Samish Island in 1971. It was very, very different. I think that you will agree then as what it is now. Whose address was Route 1, Box 61A was mine. Nobody else had a route. Yeah. Anyway, so we can see in this amount of time if our addresses have changed. Have our houses ever changed? And so when we moved into our home on Samish Island, it was just going to be temporarily. My husband had been raised in Burlington on a farm. They were dairy farmers. I told him when I met him I didn't want to live on a farm. He said that's fine. He didn't either. And so I thought I wanted to see rural America after I graduated from college. And so I got a job at Mount Vernon High School, thinking I would stay here for 1 year and then I would go back to Spokane. I'd been in Spokane or Phoenix. And I ended up meeting the man I married in March, and we got married in July. We both had gone to WSU, but he was in college when I was in kindergarten. He was raised around here and knew a lot and was related to a lot. I didn't know anyone. I said the only thing I wouldn't marry would be a farmer and a truck driver. I wanted to live in a city, so I married a farmer and I live on an island. But we got here just until I would get the feeling of it. And what we moved into was a house, and the pictures will come around. In those days, and it would be Fred has got one picture in his book, but my house was built in 1936. In those days, they made it out of driftwood and oyster crates. They didn't make insulation in those days. They had square-headed nails. Um, they Morrison lumber did come in, I think, well, quite a bit later, and that's what people had used. They didn't have really running water into your house. Then they changed what they had put down. And Hank Plug. Anybody know Hank Plug? Oh my gosh. Okay. And he used to take water when people's wells were getting dry or if they needed something else. Eventually, he helped fill the fire truck because it would run out of water. And we had wells. We had 6 wells, and one you can still sort of see where it was right in front of our house. But that was a pain. And then they had these really small pipes to deliver water. Well, probably Steve remembers all that stuff. So when we moved in, there was only one little hose that came into a very low sink. And George Hopley lived in that house, and he evidently was never married. And that was all the water there was. And so there was a two-holer outhouse in the back, and that was the bathroom. So when we moved here, it was so cold in the morning, and I had to use the outhouse. And a man, as you know, can go to the back door and take 2 steps out, and he's fine. And then I had to get dressed so I looked professional. And it was hard. It was cold. I had the jackets. I had a jacket to wear inside the house and one to wear when I went to school, as did some others. Um, the people across the street, there was Grant Sylvia's in there now, and it was just people would go in and eat. It was evidently sort of like a restaurant, trees all behind it. And then later, the one right across Kenwood lives there now. And that turned into a grocery store. And so he had groceries and liquor in there. But they found out because if the people out here only bought just the very staples, because it was too far to go into town to get much more, but they were going out of business. So he decided to work at the refinery. And they took the store that was on Samish Island and they went into where the Edison Inn is now. And that was turned into a grocery store, a liquor store, and a post office.